Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and it is Thursday. So, what we're going to do today's Throwback Thursday, little Time Wizard format information. So, we're finally along far enough to hit our first ban list. So, the date would have been May 1st back in 2002, literally 22 years ago, and we would have been given our first restrictions list. Now, nothing would have been banned, and only 12 cards were affected at this point. But those 12 cards had to do this. I mean, you got to remember, at this point in time, we have Legend of Blue Eyes. So we have so many good old school hard hitting cards. Reborn, Dark Hole, Pot of Greed, Geki, Swords is still doing amazing stuff. We've got the starter decks. The starter decks made Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, and commons. They also introduced cards that sped us up even faster, like Card Destruction, as well as giving us a common print of Change of Heart a full couple of months before the set would be released, where it was actually in the set. So just real quick, what cards were limited and basically why? Straight to one had to be the set of Exodia cards, and these are the longest unchanged position on any restrictions list forever, and they will forever be here because it is actually pretty darn easy to get all 5 pieces in your hand at one time. So never again will I get to play a deck where I get to run 3 full sets of the Forbidden One with no repercussions. That was a basic one and done. I got to do that for like basically 2 sets of play. And anytime we play anything that's like pre-ban format, we can visit this again. But again, this makes sense. Additionally, moving to spells, like Change of Heart had to go to 1. You figure it was given away as a common, like it had been the ultra rare Metal Raiders hit first before the starter decks, which would again be like a little weird that you'd get 2 sets before the decks. Maybe it wouldn't have got hit as fast, but it definitely still would have made this portion of the list. Because there's no downside. I don't want to say it's Yu-Gi-Oh's version of the Power 9, being like the 9 most potent cards in all time, because, the Power 9 were printed like twice. It was like Alpha and Beta, and then not really ever again. And Change of Heart, we've got recent reprints from like Marvelous Mavens or whatever it was, and like you can get an ultra rare for like $1 now, so like that's not terrible. But in the early game, this was just a huge effect. It didn't cost you anything to do, so you would play it. Same thing kind of goes with the Dark Hole. Again, when you're able to do either Dark Hole or Geki and just do these board wipes, and then just almost immediately go straight into Monster Reborn and start playing back the biggest things, you gotta understand this card has to go to 1. It has to go to 1 or none. And 1 was pretty fair. It was basically like this had a little bit of a drawback because it's the whole field, not just the opponent's side. But still, it combos easy. And one of the cards I just mentioned that it combos with, Monster Reborn. Again, no cost. You pick a monster in either graveyard, bring it right back. Simple, effective. Still sort of has like a paragraph there, but like they were trying. Okay. Pot of Greed. I don't ever expect to see this card back. Once this thing actually does hit a ban, I think it's one of the longest to remain on the ban list. Because we do have some like cards that have changed just because they got errata, or they just, the game power crept and they're no longer considered an ace card anymore. This is a simple 3-word explanation for what it does. You draw 2 cards. Doesn't get any easier than that. Unless you play Raigeki. Raigeki, destroy all opponents' monsters. And again, I could see why this one would go to 1. It's a little weird that you would see both of these go at the same time since this has only got the 1 print. This has 2, plus it's got the commons. I'm not saying I wanted there to be more power in the game, but it wasn't as bad, especially because you were able to still play the Dark Hole. So you just kind of went from playing like three to six board wipes to two. And it kind of made your decks better, honestly, because you played more cards instead of just blindly playing 3-ofs. And these 10 are all the things that went down to 1. Nothing went down to 0, and 2 cards went down to 1, or down to 2. So let's talk about those. One of those would be the spell card Destruction. So we got this card with the Yugi starter deck, as well as the Change of Heart, the Dark Hole, the Monster Reborn. Just because like they were all there, they were all commons and or like super rare. In the case of the card Destro. And card Destruction is a great way to attack an Exodia player. As you guys saw, Celestial actually ripped my Exodia out of my hand after we had to redo the match due to technical difficulties with the camera. But yeah, card Destruction does just good stuff in the way that we can refresh hands. As long as one of the players has cards to go, then it can be activated. Both players don't need to have a hand in order to activate the card. And again, just going into like setting the Monster Reborn, activating the card Destruction, throwing away one of your bigger monsters, and then comboing off with the Monster Reborn to bring it back. Yeah, we kind of can't let the card Destruction get too popular, but we also can't let the Monster Reborn do too much work. Last card, and again, this one sort of made sense because, again, it was kind of a pain in the butt and there was no real easy removal yet. Right now, we were looking at D-Spell and Armed Ninjas in order to take the Swords of Revealing Light off the field. Swords would also trigger, forcibly trigger, any of your opponent's set flip monsters. So again, if you did this before you started summoning anything, you reveal like Man-Eater Bug, well, it's got to detonate on something, but if you don't have any monsters, that leaves just your opponent's monsters to pick from. And again, this would be like the first bits for an actual ban list. Now, I already have my deck upgraded, and by upgraded, I mean this is a second build. I'll set this one here, and then, like I promised, I actually have the retired one here. So that's what we're going to be doing, at least as far as I will be doing. So I've already got this updated. And now that we've shown you guys the update ban list, I feel confident going ahead and giving you guys this deck list. And just to let you know, they have a term for this one, as they do everything else. This will be the Yugi-Kaiba format. So this is going to be pretty cool. There's a handful of really cool decks in here that I can't wait to profile for you guys. And hopefully you guys will get a chance to try these out for yourselves at your own play tables. And for right now, guys, that's it. I just want you guys to go and enjoy the rest of your day. I hope that you guys enjoyed a little bit of a history lesson. But yeah, go out, enjoy the rest of your day. I want to see you guys later on this weekend. I got a speed duel deck profile for you. And like I said, I'll give you that Time Wizard deck as well. So till then, you guys keep on keeping on and have a wonderful time. All right, later.